Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's meeting of the East Grinstead Town Council Planning Committee. We'll start off with public participation. Very welcome to the gentleman sitting in the pews. Did you have anything you wanted to?
No, I'm here as the third of this one.
Standing, you're very welcome too. Have you got anyone?
No.
Fantastic. So I will move on to the apologies for absence. We have two.
Apologies from Councillor Watford, who is away, and Councillor Peacock, who had a family commitment.
It's written right there anyway. Thank you. Okay, to receive the minutes of the meeting.
I think you want to accept the apologies, note the apologies.
Yeah, let's
what
do
do you
that.
want to do with them?
Accept the
So
apologies.
if you can propose and ask for a second.
I will propose that. Can I have a second, please?
Second that, Chair.
Councillor Whittaker, thank you very much. Can I take a vote on it, please?
That's
Thank you very much. Outstanding. Okay, moving on to receive the minutes of the meeting held on the 5th of August. One thing to note is that there was a slight error in the date of the next meeting on the last minutes, which will be
Has
subsequently.
been corrected.
Has been amended. Okay, thank you very much. So that should be correct. So I would like to propose that we accept the minutes of the meeting of the 5th of August as a true and accurate record. Can I have a second, please?
Second that, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Whittaker. Can I take a vote on that, please? Thank you very much. Oh,
I'd
yeah.
like to read on that page. And we will make sure I've made the change. Conditions. Actually not. It is.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Item number 3, to receive members' declarations of interest. Have I got any?
Thank you, Chair. I'm a member of Mid Sussex District Council District Planning Committee, so reserve my right should any applications tonight come before that committee to review any further information.
Councillor Whittaker, do I have any further declarations of interest? No, fantastic. No,
that's fine. We just move on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How many times I do this, I still manage to forget exactly how
Okay.
I'm doing. Okay, so item number 4, chairman's announcements. I do believe I have one. Off the press, as I said. So we have been contacted by the examiner appointed for the district plan. The first set of examination hearings will take place from the 22nd of October to 31st of October. There will be guidance issued how to attend and be involved in the hearings should the town council wish to do so. And I believe that's all I have. Councillor Gibson.
Am I allowed to say something as I'm not a member of this committee?
No skin off my nose.
Just to point out that from the details that I've seen, that the council, I think I have forwarded that, the council has to register by the 13th of September if they intend to participate in the hearings, and has to submit in writing.
Just come through today, so we haven't had a chance to look at that yet at all. But yes, I'm sure.
But the 13th is perhaps not so far away.
No.
If you are thinking of actually participating in the process.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gibson. Always welcome your guidance. Okay, so we have on item 5 of the licensing applications. We do have one. Unless anyone has any comments, we can do that for the clever people at the MSDC licensing committee to look over.
Yeah, agreed.
No, I think it's a case of, unless you've got a comment, we just leave it, and that's fine.
Yeah. Anyone has any comments?
Just setting up your
Yeah. I think so.
important. There we go. Moving on now. That's everything. Thank you. There you go. If you just Oh, you've got that thing there if you want to use it.
Oh, yeah.
And just move yourself on that.
No, right, okay.
Okay.
Right. So we've had a look at that. So on to the next item, which is the protected tree applications. We have 3. Unless you have any comments on those, then I will leave that to the tree officer to ensure there's nothing of concern.
I could propose that one. Now you do propose.
Thank you. I would like to propose, just in a very roundabout way. Can I have a second for that?
I'm happy to second, Chair.
Thank you very much. All in favour? Not? Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, so now on to the agenda. We have 104 London Road, which is the N24 166, which there we are. There, that's where we're looking. So it's the proposed repair of the ground floor shop unit and the repair and refurbishment of the first floor flat, including replacement of windows and roof coverings to the flat, and the reintroduction of an external metal staircase to serve the flat, along with forming a new doorway to link number 102's common staircase to allow access to London Road at the front. Also demolition of a small rear flat roofed store at the rear of the shop to allow an additional car park space. So I believe this falls within Councillor Scott's remit.
Yeah,
Did you want to have a word about this one, Tony?
well, if that's all we've got, isn't it?
No, we have the.
Oh, good.
So I'll talk through the slides perhaps, and then you can make what comments you
Well,
want.
the one thing I'd like to say, if you don't mind,
Yeah, please go ahead.
is that when I see this wording, replacement of window and roof coverings to the flat, I trust and hope it's going to remain in keeping with the high street scene, as opposed to something that's completely stands out, obscure. I would not like to see that. Do we know what these windows are going to look like? I mean, that always to me is a worry when I see that in the high street. They're going to change things around, the appearance of the building. What they do inside, it doesn't really affect us too much, but it affects us if they're going to change the appearance of the frontage. And I'd like to know if we got any information what they're planning on doing to that change of windows. And then, I mean, you wouldn't want new PVC white windows. You want something that's in keeping with what they got now. I would think to change what they've got now, if they're not in good condition, I'd like them replaced. I wouldn't like to see the street scene changed.
So this particular application, 104 London Road, from my understanding, it's not really a substantial change to the frontage. That's going to be.
It's going to change the windows. It says that. It's openly telling us that. Including replacement of windows and roof coverings, which both of those things have got to be, I think, as near to what they got now as humanly possible, in my honest opinion.
I haven't got any notes on the detail of the windows.
You know, I don't, anything in the high street, if it needs repair or it's empty and it needs something done to it, I'm all for that. The high street's cannot be left looking like it's left at the moment, but it's got to be done in a cosmetic way to what we've really got.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, just following on from Councillor Scott's comments, that part of London Road, you know, we do want upgraded, we do want improved. It's not in a conservation area, so I'm all for. And sometimes I feel a lot that the planning process gets in the way of individual owners and individual stakeholders of properties, whether they're tenants or owners, particularly owners, investing in their own property, and planning can hold them back from that investment, which is badly needed, especially in these days with the retail environment. So I'm all for this. The planning officers will go through the detail. if there's anything horrendous there, that, you know, that they will have a sensible discussion, I'm sure. Knowing the planning department as I do,
It will be
with,
overseen.
with the applicant, but if it's in the top high street, it's different because it's conservation
Oh,
and
yeah,
there are
yeah,
tight
yeah, yeah.
guidelines.
Oh, no.
However, we all know this part of London Road does need encouragement,
It does.
and neighbourhood plan encourages investment, particularly railway approach to London Road. So I'd like to propose approval.
I'm not against it in any shape.
No, sure, I understand.
100% for it, yes.
So, you know, I think we need to send a message of, you know,
Concern.
positivity. Planning should be a positive process
Yeah.
where it can be.
Perfect, thank you very much. I didn't actually go through the slides, but if anyone is would like to take a look at the key change really, I think, is this this new staircase, which is far better for access. It will give access to London Road itself, and generally speaking, like Councillor Whitaker says, it's a good way to use a. I mean, it looks horrible at the moment, that particular, you know, closed shop. It's a way to utilise it, utilise the residential space as well. So, yeah, I think very promising potentially. And then we've got a few more with regards to the interior. Right, that's going a bit too far. So,
They can have a good meeting. Let's see what it says, window. Just move it that windows. I think it says something about heritage and.
So coming back to your point, Councillor Scott, for what it's worth, there is details regarding the windows in the application. So the proposed is written terribly, but heritage style matching units, which and then new UPVC at the rear.
That's fine.
So that doesn't sound terrible.
Well, as it's in my area, I support this application. Okay.
Right. On that note, then, unless we have any further comments, I believe we have a proposal by Councillor Whitaker to recommend approval for this. Can I take a vote on that, please? Second. That's a good idea. We'll do that too. Thank you very much, Councillor
I think I kind of had
Thought you'd
one.
done that.
We still have that, but just for the record.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a vote, please.
That's carried.
Thank you very much. Okay. Right. Moving on to change of pace here. So this is the Clock Towers Lane, which is DM 24/18/25, which is the retrospective application for the erection of a 2-metre fence on retaining wall. Don't think I've actually got a picture of how it. No, not it. So essentially, this is the proposed. You've actually got a much recent view of the
A very recent view,
Yes,
as
yes.
of 20 minutes ago.
Why the?
I went there. Just now.
You took the picture.
I didn't take the pictures, no. That was,
So yes, my understanding is the current the previous wall fence was in some disrepair. So on that note, I'm going to hand over to Councillor Pond, I think, to give us his remarks.
Yeah, so firstly, apologies, Chairman, as submitted for my tardiness in timing, partly due to late running trains and partly due to the fact I wanted to see this before speaking on it, and I've only just returned from holiday, so I haven't had the opportunity. So, yeah, I've just been down there. It's a lovely fence, really top quality, sort of is going to be there for some time. This is not some cheap thing. It's interesting they put it up, given that the actual hedge is actually quite substantive, and I had a quick peek under it. It's very hard, but you can sort of see from the top of that it's a mature hedge there, which has been there for some time. You know, I also the real reason I wanted to turn up is I wasn't sure whether the brick wall was in line with the level with the ground of that property, i.e., the fence was on top of the ground level, or whether it was on top of the brick with the ground being level with it. And again, it was hard to see, but having had a look underneath, it does look to be lower than the fence. The ground is not the same height as the brick wall, but it is actually lower. Now, whether it's full depth, it is hard to tell. So it is a sort of 6'6", 6 foot something fence on top of a 2 foot. So it's 8.5 foot in total height. I'm in two minds on this one. It's kind of, they could have not done it, and they could have left the old fence in disrepair, and would anything have been done about it? So I'm sort of slightly surprised there was one objection and one in support. So the one in support was like, well, it was falling apart, awful, and it's far better to have a new fence. On the flip side, you had another resident just saying, look, this is ridiculous. It's a blight, it's visually impactful negatively. My personal view is I'd rather that people spent and maintain their properties and if I was a neighbour, yes, would I have wanted that height? Probably not, but would I have rather had a new nice fence than something falling down? Yes, I would. So I don't really have, as I say, a particular strong view having been there.
It is in keeping with the hedge, isn't it, height?
Yeah, it's not above the
No,
hedge
well,
height. So again, it's one of those things I can sort of see. Part of me was going, well, could they have painted it green, but then doesn't really help. Probably not. And actually, I'd argue that's probably would be worse. So yeah, I don't really have a strong view, Chair, on this. I probably would go for a approval, a recommendation for approval. I think to send a message that, sorry, you spent a lot of money improving a fence that's falling apart now, to replace it or cut it off, I think would be particularly harsh. So yeah, my proposal would be for approval.
Thank you very much, Councillor.
Thank you, Chair. I completely second that. When I read the papers, first off, when we got them, I was wondering why we're sitting here at 7:15 on a Wednesday night with a full committee discussing a fence.
Yeah, me
we
too.
shouldn't be discussing, frankly. Especially a replacement fence. Anyway, by the by, I second the application.
Thank you. On that last note, I agree. I was minded to the work's been done. It's an upgrade. Should be cut and dried, really. Mainly because there was essentially an objection that is retrospective. Even if we look at it for a couple of minutes, I think it was worth having a look at. But we've got a recommendation on the table. Who made the recommendation? Oh, you were using. Sorry,
Seconded by councillor.
thank you. So can I take a vote on that, please?
Yeah.
That's carried.
Thank you very much. Okay, on to our final point. So this is DM 241949, land adjacent to Langdon House, Cranston Road, which is the demolition of an existing garage and erection of a detached 3-bedroom dwelling. So the area in red is the area we're looking. So Cranston Road along here. So this is in my ward. That's a really nice one. Okay, so on the left is the existing, so that's the shed that's currently the garage rather that's currently in place, and then on the right is the proposed change. In terms of the design, my experience of Cranston Road is that all the properties don't necessarily conform to each other in any case. So it's a bit of a hodgepodge. It doesn't look terrible, but they're all a bit of a variation. And I don't think the design is particularly frightening for this particular design. So we've got a floor plan, a couple of floor plans. Let me read it. So my initial thinking was there's quite a lot going on to try to get rid of the garage and try and put 3 bedrooms. Okay, so yeah, I'm somewhat in two minds on this. It looked like a lot in a very small space, but the more I looked, the more I thought that potentially could be a good utilisation of the space. 3-bedroom dwelling. I don't think I want anything more than that, or going forward any and just grabbing random bits of land and sticking something in there. But I think on balance, probably be happy to support for this on consideration. So, does anyone have any further comments?
And I had a quick look at this. Am I right in saying, Chair, there was, I think when the original development of those, is it two, if you go back to the location plan, is there one with the, oh yeah, there. I think it had been refused before when they tried to have more buildings on that. I can't recall how long ago that was.
That does, yeah, that I do. That does ring a bell. I feel like it was some time back.
Yeah, it could well have been.
I think it was it separate dwellings as opposed to one dwelling or three.
It was separate
I think,
dwellings.
yeah, I think it was some time ago. It's my understanding.
Yeah, and I suppose, have we had any objections from the, I can see on the portal, objections, which I think if I was the neighbour, given the proximity of that, unless they're not in the country in a way and not seen the notification, you know, I would have been surprised that if they had felt that that was encroaching on their property, I would have been surprised if they hadn't raised an objection.
No, yeah, you're quite right. So in terms of objections, I haven't seen any. Yeah, it is quite tight on the boundary. My understanding is that there's no, it doesn't really show it in the plan, but there's no, I suppose it does on the right. So there's no, they're not anticipating the plan putting in any site. So essentially, the properties to each side aren't infringed on that. The height shouldn't be overbearing given what's around it. So yeah, you're quite right. It's quite tight the boundary, but I think on balance, in my opinion, it's okay. But Councillor,
Thank you, Chair. Yes, this is a, obviously you've got the site very close to here. We probably drive past there a number of times without realising quite what a large site that is. It's a big existing block of flats on the right, which was converted. I think this is a classic sort of infill site, but a good infill site. It's a wedge-shaped site. It's got existing access. It's a nice design, nice shallow design. As you quite rightly said, it's modest, effectively. So, you know, again, coming to my previous comment, planning should be a positive process, all things being equal. You know, this would be supported by a neighbourhood plan where, you know, we have plenty of developments coming up in the past and in the future where we have multi-house schemes. You know, if we could do 20 or 30 of these in a year, for instance, single plots, then I think that's often a good use of what is effectively a brownfield site in a town centre location just outside the town centre. So it's in the built-up area boundary side, fully supported.
thank you very much, Councillor.
Yeah, well, was that 92? Or was that
82 minutes, isn't it?
No.
it's at the end, the date's the end
Yeah,
of
it's
that?
82.
Or was it 82?
Previous tax.
Okay, it was a while ago.
Commission back in 1982, GR 9382.
So there is history, but somewhat checkered history from.
Common sense, pretty bad, isn't it?
Okay, well, so have I made a recommendation? I've forgotten it until so long.
You
I did, I seconded it.
Fantastic. If we don't have any further comments,
No,
I think
I agree totally with what Councillor Williams has said. It's an attractive dwelling, and I will actually support it for the reasons that Councillor Williams has said. That's a very good statement, and we do need to, if these plots do come available, then we can utilise them.
absolutely. So three bedrooms where otherwise there's a garage. So yeah, I think that makes sense. Thank you very much, Councillor Scott. Any more? So if we can go to the vote on many approval, please.
That's carried.
Thank you very much. And that looks like we're about there. So the next meeting is Monday the 16th of September, and this meeting at 17:25.